Hello, welcome back, my friend, folks, and channel members. A nice time to talk about what is going on today on this video for second, and also have a short brief together. Actually, this video is a third and final part of preliminary and cockpit preparation collection. On this video, we are going to have a short look to previous parts, and for the last part talk about final stage of cockpit preparation and have attention to tasks and flow patterns related to this section of preparation according to recommended Airbus Standard Operating Procedure. If you do not watch previous videos, I strictly recommended you to go back, watch the first and also second episode about aircraft setup and EFB initialization, and also return back to this video for as a third and also final episode of this collection. We are on gate 32 at Phuket Airport and preparing for flight Thai Asia 3165 from Phuket toward Chiang Mai, which is located at the north of nice country, Thailand. Let's go in the cockpit and talk about the first and second episode in short brief, and let's going on for the third part on this video. In first episode, we with the title of aircraft setup, just before got board the aircraft, we did and observe three external items as well as wheel chocks, landing gear bay doors, and also clearance of APU area and inlets and outlets condition. It was because of assurance of safety and also making sure that nobody as a ground engineer and also technician are not involved fix or preparing any items, and also we are clear to set the parking brake and start the APU and energize the hydraulic power with ground permission. Then after enter the cockpit, the first aim was introduce the electrical power and energize the electric circuit of the aircraft, but according to tasks, and also check off some items as a safety reason, as well as engine controls and also weather radar, landing gear lever, and also check the battery voltage on the overhead, and also finally introduce the external power to the aircraft. At the beginning of second episode, with the title of EFB initialization and aircraft acceptance, we just reviewed the effectiveness of our onboard documents as well as our onboard electronic flight back EFB and also QRH. Then the CM1 checked the FMGS for engine types and validity of database of the FMGC, and then inserted the flight number and from to, which is origin airport and also destination. In the FMS, as you can see the setup right now, from Phuket, Victor Tango Sierra Papa to Victor Tango Charlie Charlie. It was just because of the reason of alignment of the 8 years. Then went through the technical logbook of the aircraft and make a decision about any MEL CDL items and check with attention to these items for the according to procedure or performance-wise reason for the takeoff preparation and calculation of the performance. Maybe also any limitation if we have about any MEL and CDL item just talked and reviewed by both pilots. Then refer to the QRH to check the aircraft configuration summary, and then after check the OEBs. Finally, with the check the ATIS automatic terminal information services and check the current weather which reported by the Aerodrome Met Office, went through the initial calculation of the takeoff performance with regarding to any defects or MEL CDL items. Check the engine oil, hydraulic fluid, and also oxygen quantity and many other items in the ICAM. At the end of second episode, check the gear pins and safety equipments items, and finally prepared the aircraft for the exterior walk-around. Now the exterior walk-around done by pilot monitoring, and we are ready for third and final stage of the aircraft preparation. The aim of the third episode is to do all flow patterns and tasks for readiness of a start the engines after this procedure and task. Okay, at this stage, if the exterior walk-around was successful with no any major items, also if the cabin crew checks of the cabin of the aircraft and also galleys and catering equipments done and they are ready, and also if the fuel and refueling procedure is completely done, which is right now we have 8,700 kilogram total fuel on board, which is needed for this flight. We can get the clearance to the ground staff for boarding the passengers, although it take too much, as same as 20 or 25 minutes right now, because as you see already we are not connected to the jetway and a terminal, and the passenger will carry by bus to the aircraft for boarding. At this step, the flow pattern start from the scan and setup of overhead panel. For the third episode, right now in the overhead panel we start the three section from left. We at the first section pilot flying should scan the overhead panel and then go through the main instrument setup, and finally toward the glare shield. Both pilot should check the glare shield and set up the FCU and also oxygen. Just before this step, they are going to, after set up the main panel, going through the set up the pedestal and also FMS for the flight. From the overhead, the first item is that Airbus recommended at this stage all white lights except maintenance panel, which is located at the rear part of the overhead panel, this area, except this area. After completion of this stage, all the white lights should be off. And for the beginning, we are going to turn the crew supply about the oxygen on. Then after proceeding for check the CVR, should test the CVR. For this type of the CVR, we should turn the ground control on, and for this type of CVR we expect a short a tune or a short beep expected. Okay, CVR test performed, and we are gonna to check the GPWS and emergency electric panel. For the evac command section, there is two different rules for the airlines according to SOPs. In our policy, we put the evac command for captain and purser, which both of them should and can initiate the evac command in case of any emergency evacuation. Also, ADIRs are already set up to nav. Return back to the signs. Set the no smoking sign to auto, and also for the emergency light set the switch to arm. Already nav and logo in position 1 selected before walk around, and also a strobe light in auto. And we should check that the APU is off, and also for the cabin pressurization system the landing elevation is auto, and prop heat is in auto position. For the air condition panel, we can set up the air condition panel. There is no off light here, and also pack flow set to normal. Today we have just a 151 passenger on board. If we have one passenger or less for A320, we can set the pack flow to low. But for the flight today, we should check in normal, and the high selection is regarded to the high and humid day. For the electrical panel, first of all, we have to set the electrical panel and return back to overhead. Check the battery 1 and battery 2 off, and then select again to auto and return back to the electrical panel. Check the battery 1 and battery 2 about the ampere. Should be maximum 60 ampere and decrease with the decreasing rate. Right now we have for the battery 1 29, for the battery 2 26, and they are, as you see, the rate of ampere are decreasing. Return back to overhead. We have just two fault light in electrical panel with regard to generator 1 and generator 2, which is normal. There is no generator in active phase for now, because both engines are shut down. For the fuel section, we turned on all fuel pumps and turned off all off lights and mode selector in auto and also crossfit. For the hydraulic panel, there is no off light, and also on light about the electrical pumps and also PTU. And we are right now going toward the check of engine fire test. For the engine fire test, check that all engine fire detection and extinguishing system are operative correction. The continuous repetitive chime or CRC will be sound. the massive warning light flash. The ECAM displays the engine 1, 2, 3 or 4 fire alerts. All engine fire push button switch comes on red, and also regarded engine fire push button comes red, and also escape light and also discharge light comes on, and also fire light on engine master switch comes on. It's the result of test, and just before do the check, we should ensure that engine number 1 fire push button is in position and also guarded. There is no agent 1 and 2 illumination, and also engine test push button should be pressed and maintained for the rest of the check. Okay. Engine number 1 fire test. We check the escape and also discharge, and also engine fire in red, flashing master warning on glare shield, and also we can check the engine 1 fire on ECAM. CRC or continuous repetitive chime also here in the cockpit. Okay, we can release the button. Check is completed for the engine number 1. For engine number 2, as same as engine number 1, we can check agent 1, agent 2, and also engine fire, as well as master warning, and also ECAM engine 2 fire with the CRC or continuous repetitive chime. Check is done for the engine number 2. APU fire test is already done, and we return back to the overhead panel. Check the engine ventilation and cargo smoke, and also setup of the third occupant's communication panel. We can check the PA reception knob and turn it over and up to more than half position. That's because of whenever the PA of third occupants is in reception mode, this action enables to record the announcement on the CVR. For the proper recording, set the volume at or above medium range, which is right now on medium range. And currently we go through the upper side of the overhead panel, check the maintenance section, and also check all the CDs which should be inserted and in position, and also audio switching should be in normal position. Okay, the overhead setup is completed. We are now going to set the main panel. For the main panel, we start from ISIS here, and ISIS as a standby instrument, we should check it, and if needed, the reset button press. When you see the attitude for 10 seconds, it takes time about 10 seconds to reset the attitude, and there is no need for departure. Use the bugs and also LS right now, and totally Airbus recommended that do not use the bugs on ISIS for departure. I will have a full brief about the ISIS and also any other items, as well as CVR and also a flight data recorder maybe the policy of usage of the lights, aircraft exterior lights, and many other items in full brief and detail in next videos. Right now we should check the condition of the RMI, and also we can read the DME1 and DME2, which we'll check later, and also check the condition of a triple indicator about the condition of brake and accumulator pressure, which is already checked, and also check the time 0417 and also date, that's 22 of months 04 2025. Time is 0418, and also the selection is on GPS, which is correct. For the auto brake system, the anti-skid and nose wheel steering switch is in on position, as you see, and also the landing gear indication are normal. Brake fan is also off. Also, we should return back to pedestal and for the RMP. Check that there is no green light, and also this amber select light should be off, and for the frequency setup, as said already, for the VHF1 I inserted Unicom of VATSIM, which is 122.8. For the VHF2 I inserted the inactive mode the company frequency, and also in standby mode the 80s, and also VHF3 according that this aircraft does not have any ACARs on board. We just set 1 to 1.5 as a guard frequency. Reception and transmission of the ACP are checked and selected, and also the interphone switch is in interphone position. The TCAS ATC panel, as you see, with the squawk code of 2000 is set up. Check the flap handle also with the indication of ECAM, and also as already checked, speed brake retracted, and also not arm, and parking brake is set to on. At this moment we can check the cockpit door position and also selection with if you have any doubts about it, you can set the annunciator light test to test and check all the indication, and also all the indication and lights in the cockpit. Right now we check that thrust lever are in idle position, and both thrust reversers are stowed, and also engine master switches are off and engine start selector in normal. Okay, as a fourth part of this episode, we should go through the setup of the FMS. For the setup of the FMS, Airbus recommended that you follow the patterns which the abbreviation is diffs RIP. You should start from data switch, check the engine type and also effective navigation database, which is up to 14 May 2025 and started this cycle from 17 April 2025. And please again set the data switch and go to the next page and check the pilot waypoints, which is clear, and check the pilot routes also is clear, and that's all about the data. Then go to the initialization page, which contains of 2 pages. For the first page, we should completely insert the items and information on this page as same as flight number from to, alternate airport, cost index, cruise altitude, cruise temperature, and also insert the wind accurately and tropopause altitude with the ground temperature. Then after, you can go through the flight plan. There is no need right now for insertion any information in init Bravo or second page of initialization page. We can return back to init Bravo later. For the flight plan, we can insert the departure, runway, and also seats, and also we can insert the fix info on the from the vertical section. We can insert the time of estimated takeoff time, and also set up the route from Phuket to Chiang Mai, and then after we can go through the destination for the arrival selection, about the approach, and also a star and any transition for approach and arrival at destination. Diffs data, initialization, flight plan, and then go through the secondary flight plan, copy active the primary, which actually copy the primary flight plan to the secondary, and for the moment as same as here. And we should choose any items in secondary that I will completely introduce, and also briefly will tell you that how you can accurately insert the information in the FMS, and how you can set up your FMS for the flight accurately. Don't worry about it. For the RIP section, we started continue toward RadNav page and set the radio navigation about the VOR frequencies. If you have any course for departure or immediate return, that's your company, and also pilot discretion policy, and also you can set the ILS frequency or tune the ILS frequency, maybe auto tune, and maybe for the airport that with a incomplete, or maybe some airport are not in database of the FMS, you can set manually and insert the ILS frequency manually on this section. About the ADF frequency and identifiers, you can set in the ADF section for ADF 1 and ADF 2, and right now for the Papa Uniform Tango with the frequency 116.9er, we can check it here for Phuket. For example, for the approach, we can check the frequency of the VOR. For example, VOR Zulu for runway 99, just Papa Uniform Tango with the frequency 116.9er. Okay, Papa Uniform Tango, which we manual tune the Papa Uniform Tango with the check the frequency 116.9er, and also VOR number 2 is in auto tune. We put the Papa Uniform Tango identification and choose it, and right now both VOR are in selected tune mode, 116.9er, and we are 0.4 mile distance about the DME station. Okay, for the next section of the FMS, we can return back to init page, select next page, and also insert the zero fuel weight and also zero fuel weight CG and block fuel, as well as a headwind or tailwind during cruise for a calculation of the performance section of the FMS. After completion of this section, we should go to the performance page, insert the takeoff data. For example, for today, for Phuket via runway, let me synchronize weather, regarded 1430 Zulu, wind 310 degrees 3 knots, and rest of the live METAR. And let me calculate again. Okay, the EFV recommend me flaps 1 for departure, good selection, and V1 148, 148, 149 with the flex temperature of 65, thrust reduction and there's also acceleration altitude and engine out acceleration altitude as shown here. We can insert these items, and also we can finally check the green dot speed, which is right now calculated 219 here by the EFB with the calculation of the FMS, because we are not inserted any enough data and items in the FMS, and actually right now the FMGC is unable to calculate any items for us. After performance page, we should go through the progress page, and at this level, at this page, we should check the cruise altitude, optimum, recommended max, and we should set the runway departure or maybe runway arrival for immediate return to the in case of any abnormality or emergency in this bracket here. Don't worry about the FMS. I will show you how and how you will insert the data in the FMS, how the FMS will calculate. We briefly talk about the parts of the FMGC, uh, which is already, and as you know, the computers that supply the MCDUs uh, in the next topics and also in the next episode. Don't worry about the FMS and also setup of the FMS. Upon program and also insertion of the data in the FMS completed, we should order to the pilot monitoring. The FMS setup should be done by a pilot flying. After completion of FMS setup, the pilot flying request or order to the pilot monitoring to check the all insertion data and calculation of the FMS. Maybe cross-check together about this procedure, and it's very essential. Okay, then after for the Geller shield, we should check and set up the loudspeaker and also set the barometric reference, which is the QNH is right now 1011. We should check 1011 on 3 times in the panel, on the left side, on the right side, and also on the ICs. 1011 is set, and we should check the altitude, which reading here is right now about 50 feet with the left side, which is also 50 feet, and with the ICs, which is also 50 feet. The maximum difference between two PFDs are plus minus 20 feet, and also depending on aircraft configuration. Between PFDs and ICs, the difference of reading altitude should be maximum plus minus 60 feet. Then we can go to the FIS panel. We turn the constraint switch, push the constraint switch and turn it on. The range should be at minimum. VOR 1 and also VOR 2 should be selected, and also on the left side, constraint range 10 or minimum. VOR1, VOR2 is selected, and it's done. For the FCU, because we do not insert the enough information in the FMS right now, we do not see any dashes for the speed and also heading. Initial altitude, which cleared by the ATC already, is 8000, which is set on the cleared altitude on FCU. That's a note here that do not engage any auto thrust mode or autopilot on the ground, and we are aware about. For the check of the oxygen, before we check the oxygen, we should check that on the overhead panel, the oxygen crew supply switch is in auto, and also loudspeakers are on. Interphone reception on ACP, which is here, is released and also on, and also interphone switch is on interphone selection. The selection is correct. We can check the oxygen, but for this check, first of all, you have press and hold the reset test push button. Actually, in this direction, you should press and hold. Check the blinker turns yellow here for a short time, and then it will be goes blank. Then after, we should hold and reset push button down, and also press the emergency selector, which is here, the red knob or circle here, both together, and then after check that the blinker turns yellow and remain yellow, and as long as the emergency pressure selector is pressed. Listen for the flow of the oxygen through the loudspeakers, and also check that the reset test push button turn to up position, and 100% selector, which is here, is in 100%, which is now selected. Okay. Oxygen test, and right now we are unable on this aircraft and also flight simulation for press both the reset test push button and also emergency pressure selector together. Here we can check the blinker in yellow, and also oxygen test is completed. And already during a previous section we checked the oxygen pressure, which is almost 1800 psi. We should check that here the regulator low pressure message is off, and also for the instrument panel. We should check all the selection here, and then after we can check the switching, attitude, heading, air data, FSDMC, and also ECAM and ND transfer switch. All in normal, and according to this condition everything is good. And also return back to the ECAM, check two items about pressurization. For this section, press the pressurization page, and also check that the landing elevation, which is here. We check already the knob in the overhead panel during overhead scan, and right now we should check that the landing elevation is in auto mode. And then after, press the status and check the in-up system, and check that any in-up system is compatible with the MEL or not. In-up system for at this time is CAT2, which is normal. After engine startup, all the items and also all system should be operational, and then after we can check that the in-up system will be empty, and there is no any item as same as cat2. Okay, remove a status and return to the door oxygen page. Currently we should go to the FMS again in data and refer to the position monitor about the check the ADIRS IRS1 in nav mode. We have 3 green here. IRS1 nav with decimal 2, IRS2 in nav mode with decimal 1, and also IRS3 in nav mode with decimal 1, and also there is acceptable accuracy and GP and also correction position monitoring and reporting by the IRSs. Okay, fuel on board is checked. We need 8,700 as reported by the operational flight plan and required by operational flight plan, which is loaded, and also we should on the fuel page that total fuel on board is 8,700 and both sides are balanced. Okay, clear the fuel page and return back to door oxygen page, and the aircraft is set up completely. That's the time for departure briefing by both pilots. Go through the threat and errors for this flight and for this departure, and have a conclusion together about this takeoff, and also make a good departure briefing with, again on a later video will accurately and briefly pay attention more on departure briefing. Aircraft setup is completed and also aircraft is ready for boarding. Start the APU and also start the engines. Hope you have enjoyed this episode today. As I said, it was the latest episode of preliminary and cockpit preparation collection. I hope that it was a good collection that you enjoy, and also the next episode and also the next video will go through the flight phases. Thank you very much for your time, and if you like this episode, thumbs up and like the video, and if you are not subscribed the channel yet, appreciate to subscribe the channel for more positive energy for me. Thank you very much. As always, I wish you a pleasant journey. Sit back, relax, and enjoy your flight. Thank you.